Dear students, welcome back to my channel Enjoy Learning. In this video, I am going to solve question number 2 of the International Maths Olympiad for Class 8 2023. And so let's begin with the question. At a stationery store, the unit cost in dollars of one notebook is an integer. The cost of buying 9 identical notebooks is more than $1,100 but less than $1,200, while the cost of buying 13 identical notebooks is more than $1,500 but less than $1,600. What is the cost in dollars of one notebook? Okay, so first of all, let's quickly understand the question. In this question, we have to find the cost of one notebook. We have to find the cost of one notebook, and it is given that the cost of this notebook is an integer. That is, it is not in decimal, it is a perfect whole number. It is an integer. And next, what is given here? See, we are given the cost of buying 9 such notebooks. The limit is given. So let's quickly write it. First of all, let the cost of this notebook be x. Okay, let the cost of one notebook be x. Now let's quickly see the question. What is given that the cost of buying 9 identical notebooks is more than $1,100 but less than $1,200. So here an inequality is given. So let's quickly write it. See, the cost of one notebook is x, so the cost of 9 identical notebooks will be 9x. It's clear now? The cost of one notebook is x, so the cost of 2 notebooks is x plus x, 2x. The cost of 3 notebooks is x plus x, 3x. Okay. Similarly, the cost of 9 notebooks will be 9x if the cost of one notebook is x. So the cost of 9 notebooks is 9x, and what is given that the cost of buying 9 identical notebooks is more than $1,100. So the cost of 9 notebooks is more than $1,100. So right, this is how you will make the sign. 9x is greater than $1,100. It is the cost of buying 9 identical notebooks is more than $1,100 but less than $1,200. See, it is more than $1,100 but less than $1,200. So this is the sign for less than. This is our first inequality. Okay, let's quickly make the second inequality. While the cost of buying 13 identical notebooks. So what will be the cost of 13 notebooks? First quickly tell me this. The cost of one notebook is x, so the cost of 13 identical notebooks will be 13x. So this is 13x. And now what else is given is that the cost of 13 notebooks is more than 1,500. It is more than 1,500. So 13x is more than 1,500 but less than $1,600. This is less than $1,600. This is how we made our second inequality. Now see here, this number is called the lower limit. What is it called? It is called the lower limit, and this is called the upper limit, isn't it? Since 9x is greater than 1,100, so this one is lower. So this is called the lower limit. But 9x is less than 1,200, so this is called the upper limit. Now see what is your next step. In the next step, what will we do? We will make here x. This is 9x, so to make it x, what we have to do is we have to divide this entire inequality by 9, isn't it? When we will divide this entire inequality by 9, so here 9x by 9, and we will be left behind with x only. So for this we have to divide it. Yeah, now it is clear. So this is 9 cancelled out. Now first quickly find out the value of 1100 by 9 and 1200 by 9 in decimal. completely divide it. I'm writing it down here, but you do it on your own as quickly as you can. It is 122.2, and here this will be 133.3. Okay. See, why are we doing this? Since we have to find the cost of one notebook, we have to find the cost of one notebook, that is x. So we divided by 9 to get x over here. So this is our first inequality now. Now similarly, the second inequality will be reduced to a similar form. So here also we have to make it x. So to make this term x, we will divide this entire inequality by 13. So let's quickly do that. 1500 by 13 is less than, now 13x by 13 is less than 1600 by 13. Here also what we have to do is, we have to simplify it, completely divide it, and what will we get is 1500 by 13 is 115.4 is now 13x by 13. Here we got x, and 1600 by 13 is 123.07. Okay, so the second inequality reduced to this form. Now what we have to do is, we don't have to do anything, just one simple trick and we will find the answer. See, we got two inequalities that are giving us the limit on x. See, the first inequality means that x is greater than 122.2 but x is less than 133.3, and the second inequality says that x is greater than 115.4 and x is less than 123.07. Now we have to find x, and what is given in the question? This hint that the value of x is an integer, right? It is an integer. X is an integer. So see, what we have to do is, there are two lower limits, two lower limits on x and two upper limits on x. Two lower limits and these are the two upper limits. So the trick is that we take the greater lower limit. What we take? Greater lower limit x, or यहाँ, and here smaller upper limit. This is the trick. We take the greater lower limit and the smaller upper limit, because there are two inequalities. So how to find the value of x? So what we do is, we take the greater lower limit always. Any type of question, if there are two inequalities giving the limits on the same thing, so what we do is, we take the greater lower limit and the smaller upper limit. Lower limit greater and upper limit smaller one. So out of the two lower limits, which one is greater? 122.2 is greater than 115.4. So we will write over here 122.2. Similarly over here, the smaller upper limit. So out of the two, 133.3 and 123.07, which one is smaller? So 123.07 is smaller than 123.07. Now we have to apply here a little common sense and we are done. So here it is given that x is greater than 122.2 and x is less than 123.07. So which is the only integer lying in this range? The only integer lying in this range. See, x is greater than 122, because x is greater than 122.2, so x will be greater than 122. And here x is less than 123.07. It is not given that x is less than 123. It is given that x is less than 123.07 point something. Means x is equal to 123. The only integer, since x cannot be 122 because in this range. Is 122 lying? No. See, 122, this is, let's make the number line. Okay, then you will quickly find the answer. See, x is greater than 122.2. So first quickly make something. X 122.2 must be over here. 122.2, then 122.4, 122.6, 122.8, and then this will be 123, and then over here it will be 123.07. right? Now what is the range for x? X is greater than 122.2, that is, this is 122.2, and x is less than 123.07. X is less than 123.07. So this is the range for x. So in this range, the only integer that we can see is 123, isn't it? See, in this range, the only integer that is coming is 123. 122, after 122, the only integer is 123, and 123 is there in this range. Okay, so the only integer in this range is 123. I hope you got it. Again I am telling, if you didn't got, see, x is greater than 122.2. So we plot the number line. This is 122, this is 122.2, this is 122.4, 122.6, 122.8, and then here it is 123. And after this is 123.07. So x is greater than 122.2. So this is our 122.2, and this is 123.07. So x is lying in this range. X can be anything from here to here. So this we marked. Now what else is given in the question is that x is an integer. So in this range, the only integer coming is 123. Right? So x must be $123. The cost of one notebook is $123. This is your answer. I hope you got the point, understood the question. Okay, so next we will meet with question number 3. And if you haven't watched question number 1 and the rest of these questions, then do check the link. It's given in the description. One by one I am making and covering all the questions, okay? Making videos on all these questions. So the link of this playlist of International Maths Olympiad for class 8 is given in the description of this video. Do check it out. God bless you. All the best.